I tell you that other one time was the time. You got it already.
Hello, welcome to Room B. I'm your host, Rumbii. This is a diary style podcast where I talk about what's going on in my life and try and get some form of understanding of the things that I go through while also working through some things that are on my mind. I really like writing my feelings, everything that concerns me, I put it down on paper. And in an effort to connect with others and share my experiences with others, I talk about it on this podcast. So this week, I I wish I had a fun story to share, but I had a very unfortunate experience, and I think it's definitely bruised my ego. I feel quite hurt by this, but I'm here to talk about it, to work through it. I've already done a little bit of writing about it, and one of the things that kind of stuck out was I keep thinking of the situation as something that hurt me. But realistically, nobody did anything to me. And I think that's where the problem is. It's just that nothing happened. And so it makes me feel kind of invisible. Anyway, let's get to the situation. So I went to this event in my city. It's specifically for Black women, Black girls, any Black queer presenting person was also accepted in this space. It was basically a safe space for people who look like me to just hang out, mix and mingle, make friends. And one of the things that they encourage is that you come on your own because then you can maybe make some friends. So I was really looking forward to this because I missed like the last three events they did. And this time around, I was like, I'm going to go. I'm not going to forget. And guess what? I did forget. But I remembered like a couple hours after the event started. So I quickly got ready, got in an Uber, and I went there. And by the time I got there, the food was done, which I understand. I was like, by then, I was probably like 3 hours late. But there was still some people there. A few people had left, but there were people around. A lot of people were in their friendship groups, and there were people dancing. I didn't quite feel very comfortable dancing because I was just on my own, and there's a level of comfort and familiarity, I guess, that you need to get to that point where you just like let loose. I've been known to dance on my own a lot of times, but that's been with alcohol, liquid courage, you know? This event was a dry event, which was totally fine. And this is, again, why I wanted to go to this thing because a lot of times I find that when I socialize, there's a lot of drinking involved. And I'm getting to the point in my life where I don't necessarily need to be drunk every time I socialize. I'm okay with like doing things sober. So, I went into this kind of thinking I'm going to go into this space that's going to be so inviting, so welcoming, because at the end of the day, Black women are very nice people. I always tell my husband that if you're ever in trouble in public or you need help, go ask a Black woman. They are the nicest people there are. So I thought I was going to be welcomed into this space. I thought that maybe people would see me and think, oh, she's on her own. Let's, invite her to hang out with us. Because that's what I would do. I'm that type of person that if I'm in a space where someone is on their own and I notice that they're on their own, I bring them in. I say, hey, I introduce myself. I ask them their name, get to know them, and I ask them if they want to come and hang out with me, my friends, or whoever I'm with. That didn't happen. That did not happen. And I felt so alone. Oh man, I'm trying to not get emotional about it because I feel like I said, my ego got bruised. it's it really hurt me. And this was like a couple of days ago this happened, so it's still very fresh. The wound is still very, very fresh. But just the way I felt, like I felt unseen. I felt like nobody cared. The only people I spoke to were the bartender and the photographer. It was rough. It was really, really rough. But when I got there, I told myself, even if I don't make friends with anyone, I'm just going to stay there for an hour. Stay an hour. And once that hour is done, if you haven't spoken to anyone, just go home. And I was really hopeful. I was so hopeful that within that hour, someone would have at least like waved at me or like smiled at me. But like nothing, nothing happened. Maybe I should have done more. I did get there late and I guess people were tired. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like reasons as to people would see someone on their own and just completely ignore them. Maybe there's something I could have done that my nerves just stopped me from doing. I don't know. I also could have taken a friend, but I didn't. And the Black women that I'm friends with in the city are mothers. They are very busy. They I didn't think of just like inviting someone with me, but it is what it is. I did get a photo taken. Like I said, I spoke to the photographer and I asked to get a picture taken because in my mind I was like, let me just get a picture taken to prove that I was actually here. Guys, this is gonna it gets worse. It gets worse. So the event planners sent an email out with a Google folder of all the photos they took that night. And my pictures are not there. Do you know how hurtful that is? Like, I already felt invisible, and now there's not even record of me being there. Thank goodness I took some selfies while I was there. Oh, I don't want to cry about this because I don't want the negativity to win, you know? I don't want the bad vibes to win. But it really sucked. And it's already so hard to make friends in the city. And I'm sure that's not what any of the event planners intended to happen. And I'm not going to fault the people who are there. Like, I am a stranger. Maybe I didn't give off a welcoming vibe. It sucked. It really, really sucked. And I felt like that was my opportunity to make friends that are my age. And it flopped. It completely flopped. And I'm upset about it. I haven't worked through the feelings. I think it's going to take me a while to get over because I'm really hurt. But I'm not going to give up. I will try again. They do have this event, I think, every 4 months or every 3 months. I forget. I don't know if I'll go to the next one, but I think when I'm ready to go, I will make sure that I get there on time and maybe I'll get a better chance to make friends or at least just talk to someone. There's no worse feeling than being in a room full of people and nobody talks to you. I did have someone just before I left, I went to the bathroom and someone complimented my outfit. That was the only interaction outside of the people working there. So there's that, but that was it. And by then, I'd already been like crying. I shed a couple tears in the bathroom. So like when she spoke to me, I was really not trying to like look at someone because when you're like so upset that if you make eye contact, you would just like burst into tears. So like she complimented my outfit and I was like, I was washing my hands on my way out. And she's like, that's a really cute outfit. I was like, thank you. I appreciate you. And I just like ran out of the bathroom. I ran out of the bathroom, grabbed my coat, and ran outside. I was so upset, you guys. I can't even. It's awful. It's awful. But anyway, I learned something from it. Did I? I don't know. Maybe I will in a few weeks. Maybe once these feelings have like settled and I'm no longer emotional about it, I can maybe think about it in a more literal way and try to see like what I could have done and how I can approach it next time. So that said, again, I'm not gonna give up. This is just one instance of an unfortunate event. So I've been trying to think like, what else can I do? What else? How else can I reach out to other people to make friends? Ideally, I would have wanted to make Black friends. That's why I went to this event. But I'm okay with friends from all walks of life. So I think maybe I need to broaden my horizons when it comes to like making friends. I just I overestimated how welcoming the environment I went into was going to be. So that's another thing that I'm definitely going to keep in mind when I enter other spaces with the intention of making friends. Just because you would do something a certain way doesn't mean that the people around you would do that. So I've been trying to think like, what can I do? Like, what kind of activities can I do to help me, you know, make friends? And the most common thing that people in the city suggest to do is to just join a sport, join a sport, a group sport, and sorry for those who don't understand me clearly, I mean sport. So I thought about tennis, but I went to our local tennis club just to like scope it out. Dude, it is an insane place. Like people there are very competitive. It's probably like the I I don't know how to describe it. I've never seen a sports club, a recreational sports club have such intense competition. Like they have tournaments all weekend. Like they are on a different level. So that was that was a no because I'm not trying to be stressed out when I'm really doing this to try and socialize and make friends. And the one thing that actually I feel like I will enjoy more is probably dance. To join a dance class. I thought about pole dancing because I have a cousin who did pole dancing and her physique is unmatched. And I'm like, maybe this is what I need to do. But I don't think I'm strong enough yet. I need a bit of self-confidence to get to that stage. So I think maybe if I find like a hip hop kind of R&B dance class, because that's what I used to do. I used to be a dancer in another lifetime. It feels like a lifetime ago. I love dancing. I dance around the house. I dance with my husband all the time. So maybe that will also help. I also thought about photography because that's another passion of mine. I love taking pictures. Maybe join a walking photo group, you know. I've seen a few around the city. And at one point, I was actually at breakfast with my in laws and we saw a photo walk happening. And I really wanted to run outside and just like get their contact information, but I chickened out. And I remember my in laws and my husband being like, go, like, just go outside, like, just go speak to them. And I'm like, I'm scared, I'm nervous. So if I do see them again, I will definitely go out and reach out and find out if I can join one of their classes or their walks because As I said, I need friends. I need friends. And I'm the type of person that loves to be around friends. Like when I was in England, I spent so much time with my friends. I cooked for my friends. I hung out with them. I'd go see them. We'd do activities. We'd go out. We'd do so much together. And I miss that. I miss having that group of people that you care about, that care about you. And it's just a great vibe. To any of my friends listening, guys, I miss you a lot. I miss you a lot. I miss all our hangouts. And that's something I underestimated before I moved. I didn't realize just how much I was going to miss you guys because you guys fed my soul. So, another thing I want to try and maybe join is probably like a crafting class, maybe a sewing class or a knitting class or an embroidery class, just something to I can do with my hands, something to keep me occupied and also like a skill that I can nurture and grow and develop over time. So we'll see. I will keep you posted on whether or not I actually do join these groups that I'm expecting to or thinking about joining. And if I go to another Black Girl prom, if that's a very strong if, because my feelings are hurt. Okay. I'm upset. I'm upset. And, like I said, it's so weird. Like, I'm upset, but nobody actually did anything. There's no specific person I'm upset at. It's just the I'm upset at the situation, really. I think that's why it's more frustrating because I can't say this person did this to me, you know? It's more of just like an unfortunate circumstance. So I hope that I just get over this little hiccup, this little mishap, this little unfortunate situation, and I won't let that stop me from trying to continue to make friends. I hope that you stay awesome, be kind, and spread positivity.
Rumbee's podcast. Rumbee's podcast. Yeah. Rumbee's podcast. What? Rumbee's podcast. Rumbee's podcast. This is Rumbee's podcast. What? Rumbee's podcast. Yeah. Rumbee's podcast. Oh yeah. I tell you that other one time was the time. You got it already.